I like it just with the sunburst behind it.
Yeah, well, the curtains were here and we moved them over there.
My decorator.
Everything's bigger now.
See, everything changes. I don't pay any attention. I just
Dee Lauderdale up here this morning. DeeLauderdale.com does you do a blog too? Or
I do.
Blog,
I do.
Podcast. Those things pay good.
Yeah, right now all the money's going out, unfortunately. But it's, that's really what I wanted to talk about today. You asked me a question last week, and when I got home Wednesday night, my wife said, "You didn't answer that well."
Uh-oh.
I was like, well, she's been listening to me. She's been listening to me speak in public for a long time, so she's used to me not saying things well. You asked me, why do I do this?
Yeah, why do you do this?
And she said, you need to come up with a better answer. And I said,
the one I got was bad.
Yeah, it was. It was horrible. You and Susan agree on that. Did y'all text each other? And
he doesn't even remember it, I guarantee you.
Yeah, he probably doesn't.
Look at him.
And it was a good question, and it is a good one. And so here's the answer. And this is just from the bottom of my heart. I truly believe every guy has the capacity to be a good man. If they just had somebody to show them how. And I want to be that somebody.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
Why do you disagree with me, Jamie Cooper? You can't disagree with me.
You're going back and saying you take
go ahead.
regular guys, that if they would talk with you.
Talk with somebody to show them how to be a good guy.
How to be a good guy.
They could be a good man. I firmly believe that.
Well, what if you've spent so much time trying to show someone how to be a good guy and then they turn out to be a bad guy anyway?
My oldest son is a con man.
Exactly who I was thinking about.
A con man.
I mean, he is. I mean, we have tried until I don't even want to know him.
He would just as soon rip you off.
Yeah.
And he's got that good personality. And where you got that?
Yeah.
I'm hoping one day I find out his mom had an affair with somebody. He accidentally ain't my kid, but he is.
Come on now.
He's that bad.
Yeah.
He is bad. He's just bad all the way down.
But he's not dead yet, so the capacity is still there.
Drugs will get him eventually.
If he's got, I know his track record has not been great, and there's a bunch of guys whose track records aren't great. But I'm an eternal optimist.
Evidently you are.
I absolutely am. And I know I've got guys in my life that are exactly like you're describing.
This is an old saying that I'm about to repeat, and I've told him this several times.
Yeah.
What you do when nobody's looking is what your character is all about.
I don't disagree with that at all. My point is that can be changed.
It's like Mike Blakely said, once a crook, always a crook.
I can give you an example of somebody who flies in the face of that. He's your pastor. Dusty made a radical change.
But he wasn't a crook.
Wait till you hear the podcast.
He did hear some stories.
Wait till you hear the podcast, because he actually told me a story that I had never heard, and I've known Dusty all my life.
He's never been arrested. I have.
He should have been.
I have too, more than one.
Well, we all probably should have been.
Okay, you've been arrested. You haven't been arrested lately, have you?
No.
Well, you've made a change. Take Jamie.
He had handcuffs on him the other day.
I was cuffed a year ago at Halloween.
Hey, no.
It was fun, too.
But look at it this way.
Gosh.
Take Jamie 25 years ago compared to Jamie right now. Is there a difference?
Well, my hair was darker.
You've never been a crook,
what do you mean, character-wise?
Yeah.
No.
You're the same. You're
my
the same
character's
person.
always been the same.
Your even though you didn't live it the same way you live it now.
Well, I just enjoyed life more than I do now.
Just going to get himself in trouble.
You say 25 years ago today, and I'm going to say that most people's character has not changed.
He's talking about just being a crook, just a down thief.
There's a program in the state of Texas that they allowed a faith-based program to be introduced into the state of Texas to try to help the guys. It's mainly in all the men's prisons in Texas, to teach them values, to teach them a moral code, like I talk about all the time, to try to help them do what I just said, to become better men. The rate of men going back to prison has gone from this much to this much.
That's good.
So it does work. Is it 100% perfect? No, of course it's not. But I'm not going to give up on anybody. I mean, I've seen too much in pastoring and everything else. I've seen people that you would have said there is no chance in the world they can ever make their life turned around. There's no way it can ever turn around. And they do. Are there some that still have it? Yeah, there's a ton of them. But they're not dead yet. So they still got a chance. I'm sorry?
It's a personal choice. They have to want
Oh,
to.
absolutely.
They know right from wrong, but they choose to just be wrong.
They are, but there are some that say, I know I have messed up, I just don't know how to do any better. I'll give you an example, Rolando McClain. Some of the stuff that Rolando's been going through, he went back, and I just read an interview with him, he moved back to Tuscaloosa to try to get back into an environment to get better, instead of staying in the environment where it was not good for him.
That was
Well,
a
first
smart
thing to do is
decision.
stay out of Decatur.
But that was a huge thing. He had to get somebody to
That
teach
happens
him how
about
to
all
do
that.
that.
That ain't just him. That happens to,
But I mean, that's why I do it. I mean, I genuinely believe that. And I think...
So are you saying it's uncommon to go back and look at somebody like me, you, Tom, Frank, whatever, how much our character changes from the time we're in high school to the time we...
I think it can change.
But
I'll put it to you that way. I think
The
it
good
can
people,
change.
it doesn't change.
No, I've seen good people go bad. I've seen it happen both ways.
When you say go bad, what do you
People
mean
can
go
go
bad?
bad.
I mean, I've seen people who were successful folks, and they make a bad decision and get involved with some kind of substance abuse, and they
Or
go from
sex or
having
something like that.
everything to losing everything. I mean, I've seen that happen on more than one occasion. I've seen guys lose their families because they decide that their wife is not who they want to be with anymore, and they start messing around and they get caught. And the next thing you know, they've lost everything. So, I mean, I've seen it go both ways. But I guess my point is,
I'm listening.
there are so many guys who nobody's just ever taught them. I mean, you would be amazed. I did a talk one day about money management, and
Now that's something I'm bad at.
and it was so simple. I thought when I got through with it, I thought, well, nobody cared about that. That was boring, whatever. My oldest daughter, who is 24, said, Dad, if you will market that to guys my age, they will flock to hear that, because her now husband was listening to it, and he was scribbling all these notes as I was teaching. And it's just basic stuff. I mean, the money management stuff I teach is real simple. You got to spend less than you earn. That's how you keep from going broke.
I didn't hear that last part.
Spend less than you earn. And it's kind of hard to get in trouble if you'll do that.
See, I've always been the guy that just like to spend, because I know I'm going to make enough. I just ain't going to save none of it.
Well, you've always been
why
able to
you're
make
in
enough. What are you going to do when you don't make enough?
I'll worry about that when
When it happens, you've got a pretty good track record, you think, of making enough. But that's why I do this. That's why I get up in the morning to come up here and do this. That's why I'm doing the podcast. The podcast, all I have left is for Apple to approve it, and then we'll be able to go live with it. Your episode will be number one, the first one out of the gate, of course.
We'll show y'all that interview here before long, too.
And I'll let you know, because here's the thing that I want to do with the podcast, and the whole idea behind it is I want to find guys that were raised in the South that have a story to tell or have some success that has happened, and sit down and talk to them and ask them the questions other people would want to know about. I mean, your interview was fascinating, I thought. I mean, I think some people are going to...
fantastic.
Well,
Oh, my goodness.
Clearly the subject, the interview subject made it that good. But
Boy, it was good.
to hear things, people will learn some stuff about business from you in this podcast.
Yeah, okay.
No, they will.
I wouldn't take it that far.
No, they absolutely will. They will see some stuff about you that they never knew and never expected. And it's the same way Dusty will be the second episode coming out. And they're going to hear some things from Dusty McLemore that they probably didn't know that I think will be inspirational. Monday I was in Birmingham, and I interviewed a guy named David Lamb, who was on Channel 31 here for a while, and then was on the CBS affiliate in Birmingham. Great stuff coming out of David's interview.
Good.
And just those little bitty nuggets to help guys, because unfortunately guys don't read. They're not going to read a book. That's the reason my book
why
is
your
so
book's so
short.
short?
Yeah. I mean, they're just not going to read a book, and so I'm not going to burn a bunch of
How
calories
about
writing.
responding to this story I had this morning?
Oh,
This
my
is from
goodness.
French.
Okay.
Frank, somewhere over there. Stepmother 48, pay attention, Frank, marries stepson 45,
Oh.
making her child both his half-sister and his stepdaughter. And his dad, her ex, was at the wedding.
Wow.
I just don't have the words.
And a union that came close to breaking the ultimate taboo.
That's her stepson?
A woman tied the knot with her stepson after fighting for months with French authorities for the right to marry.
And they wonder why they can't win a war. It's
She
because
was
they
married
come up
to
with
his
stuff
daddy.
like this.
They had a kid together. Now she's married to stepson with the daddy's blessing, her former husband and his daddy. And the daughter, 9-year-old daughter, is now not only his sister, but also his son, his daughter.
I got one. The only thing I can
Wow.
think about that and say about that is this: you can't fix stupid.
I said that this
And
morning.
let me do a
didn't I?
news story. Y'all, this happened, this
I
guy
heard.
here got sentenced to 15 years in prison. His pit bulls, he had 4 pit bulls,
Oh,
got
that's
out,
it.
attacked a 63-year-old woman walking through that piece of country they lived in, tore her to shreds. He got sentenced. He says he's never broken the law, yet when the cops came there, they found a marijuana growing illegal operation in his house. But they sentenced him to 15 years. If you got a pit bull, shoot it.
Careful. Jamie.
What did he get for the pit bull or for the
Pit
doe?
bull.
Which
The
one
doe,
did
he didn't get anything.
He didn't get anything for the doe
It's not
No.
illegal?
because they had
It is
him.
illegal, but they already had him for this. So he got 15 years in prison for his dogs killing a woman.
I wonder what
What
charge
a
that
dope.
was.
Good line, Brad.
You'll be back next week, right?
Yeah, why not? Hang out.
DeeLauderdale.com. Look him up tomorrow. It's sports, so we'll be back up here tomorrow. Bill Matthews will join us. Tom, the whole gang will be here. We got to get out of here. Zach will be back. Y'all give him a good time about Bama. Roll Tide. See y'all.
Bye.
Local and loving